Well, I want to start by expressing my admiration for your work. I recently sat down and tried to work out what proportion of aid was looked like it was an attempt to directly tackle poverty in my own work, and I quickly gave up because it was too much like hard work. So you've done it. So I think in some senses the deeper question is if Sweden, its aid organisation, is there to tackle poverty, is your allocation of aid optimal? And with that objective in mind, and if you look at the the correlations between poverty incidence and the proportion of aid which is you categorise as tackling poverty, it's very hard to go from there to knowing anything about optimality. And I think the most obvious candidate is the reason that you end with, which is the possibility of coordination happening on the ground between donors. Particularly, one might speculate that in maybe some of the countries with more extreme poverty, there are more donors jostling for position in those countries. Now, you do note that you don't read anything about this in the documentation, which is, for me, just another example of the mysterious reluctance of bilateral donors to explicitly discuss coordination in their business cases and all their other documentation. My mind has just temporarily abandoned me. The other point, so you end up with saying you observe that Swedish aid is quite thinly dispersed with many small interventions. Now, the standard idea, certainly when all these academics put together indices of donor performance, is that's a bad thing, and you ought to be going for fewer, larger interventions. And I don't know. You say that you conclude that one of the options is to try and be more comprehensive. I'm not sure what the case for being more comprehensive is when you have a relatively small aid budget. And one just kind of a throwaway comment, really. I would have been interested to know what some of the activities that you do not judge to be tackling poverty look like in a country like Burkina Faso. When only 20 or 30% of what you're doing is identifiably there for tackling poverty. That's the end of my.
Thank you very much.